All right, let's go ahead and get started. All right, thank you for joining us today to discuss nonprofit automation and how it can help you maximize fundraising. My name is Lainey, and I'm the Director of Enterprise Marketing here at Jotform. If you're new to Jotform, welcome. Jotform offers a suite of no-code solutions designed to help organizations collect, share, and manage their data. It all starts with our incredibly powerful drag and drop form builder. I'm grateful to have two of my colleagues joining us today. Lauren, our Enterprise Customer Success Manager, is on hand to demonstrate how these ideas show up in practice. And Kendall, my colleague in marketing, is here to monitor your questions in the chat. We've got a lot to pack into this webinar, which will be recorded for your future use. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, here is a quick rundown of the topics we'll be discussing today. First, we'll look at what enables automation. Next, we'll share tips for streamlining your campaigns. And then we'll discuss how automation can reduce bottlenecks. We'll also share some ideas for automating reporting. And then we'll have a quick demo and share some resources, which will include real-world nonprofit success stories. Finally, we'll wrap things up with a little Q&A. Let's dive in. Let's look at the foundation of automation, which is how you collect your data. Nonprofit teams are often working with limited resources, so it makes sense to be as efficient as possible. Automation is a great way to boost efficiency, and it starts with eliminating paper-based processes. Making the shift from paper to digital makes all your information immediately accessible and actionable. The obvious cost savings include reducing paper, printers, recycling, shredding, and storage. But what's often overlooked is the tremendous time savings you reap with digitalization. Digital forms require typed entries, which are easier to read and less likely to result in manual data entry errors. Digital data, as my colleague Lauren will soon demonstrate, can be easily shared and flowed anywhere you need it. Plus, once someone enters their information, you can use it to populate other forms, personalize communications, update donor databases, and more. Digitized forms and submissions can also make communication and reporting easier. Instead of emailing attachments back and forth and navigating multiple systems and logins, you can have shared access to real-time data in a central location. Many of our nonprofit customers have replaced multiple costly subscriptions with Jotform's holistic no-code platform. Let's say you're gearing up for a year-end campaign. Likely, you're promoting it on your website, in a newsletter, on social media, and myriad other places. You can leverage a single online donation form across every channel to see where donors are engaging with your form, track success toward your goal, and make changes to your form in real time to increase engagement. You can use conditional logic on your form to automatically notify specific members of your team when large donations are received. That way, they can send personalized thank yous or invitations to major donor events. You can also use the donation amount entered into your form to automatically redirect donors to specific thank you pages or URLs after they submit your form. Online forms are also great for streamlining checklists and tasks, collecting waivers from volunteers, and gathering data on the go. Mobile-friendly forms and apps are much easier to manage, and they can extend your reach to underserved communities or measure the need for your services in potential new locations. The other advantage of digital forms is they allow you to collect and attach different types of information to a given record, providing a more complete picture of your audience. You can collect photos, files, e-signatures, and more. Another great way to leverage automation is using form inputs to dynamically display different information or assign values to your form fillers or calculate information on the back end to minimize manual work. The possibilities are truly endless. Automation can also help you get your to-dos done by leveraging workflows. The same development of no-code solutions that's enabled many organizations to streamline common processes into a series of tasks that flow from one individual or department to the next automatically. Think of it as a virtual assembly line for any multi-step task or series of tasks that need to take place within your organization. Perhaps it's best to think about workflows in terms of how they can be used. One of our nonprofit customers, FoodLink, leverages workflow automation to register individuals for their food safety training program, determine eligibility for scholarships, and collect the appropriate payment. Another customer, Career Path Services, uses workflows to guide career services applicants from their initial referral to an employment program, through their application, all the way through onboarding and directing them to resources for future use. As you will see in our demo, creating these workflows is as simple as dragging and dropping the steps you need into place. You can send submission data, attach documents for review and approval, send email reminders, request feedback, and more. Regardless of how you leverage workflows, automating routine processes will help you maximize resources and efficiency, which helps everyone. Now that we've highlighted how automation can enhance donor information and increase efficiency, let's talk about automating reports, because you're definitely going to want to highlight all the great work that you're doing. As we mentioned, getting rid of paper forms means your data is immediately available and actionable. Whether you're collecting donor information, donations, or something else entirely, with Jotform, you can automatically generate a report from that data and easily share it with a link, email, or downloadable PDF. Automating reporting is one of the most powerful actions you can take. Instead of getting mired down in the details of creating a report, you can focus on what you know and use it to further your mission. Our nonprofit customers use automated reporting to track and manage their event registrations, to quickly evaluate survey and canvassing results, to visualize program utilization in underserved areas, and to summarize and funnel information for annual impact reports. Reporting is critical to improving campaign performance and building credibility with your donors and stakeholders. When you automate reporting, you empower others to further your mission. Okay, I feel like I've done a lot of talking about automation. So before all of this sounds like a nonprofit dream state, let's take a moment to see what these ideas look like in practice and how literally anyone can create these solutions for their organization. It's my honor to introduce my amazing colleague, Lauren, who will provide a demo of our platform that nonprofit professionals use daily to automate their work. Take it away, Lauren.
Let me get my screen up. There we go. And thank you, Lainey. And hi, everyone. I'm Lauren, and I'm a Jotform Enterprise Customer Success Manager. I'm so excited to be sharing this demo today to show you how some of Jotform Enterprise's many fabulous features can be best utilized in your nonprofit organization. Today, I'll be working in a demo enterprise server to show you how all of these helpful tools and automations look in real time. If you're already using Jotform Enterprise, these screens will likely look familiar to you. For our walkthrough today, I'll be showcasing a variety of different forms, reports, as well as a no-code app, all from our Nonprofit Heroes team. These assets have been created and can be managed by the subset of users in our server that are members of our Nonprofit Heroes team. This is all made possible by the Jotform team's functionality. In our enterprise server's unique multi-user format, Jotform Teams simplifies the ability for your organization's members to collaborate on forms, apps, tables, signed documents, and reports. We'll circle back to other methods of collaboration a bit later as well, but Jotform Teams, as with all of the other aspects I'll be showing today, is a great feature to consider utilizing within your nonprofit organization to streamline sharing and collaboration amongst your users. And with that, let's get into our demo today to discuss how we can streamline our fundraising process from square one. And that all starts with building a form. In Jotform Enterprise, our web forms are made up of a series of elements. Considering the information we need to gather from our form fillers, in this case, prospective volunteers, can help us best ensure that all of the relevant data is being collected up front. Collection of demographic information is made easy using a variety of our form elements. For example, in our drop-down element, you have the option to use one of our provided predefined values, such as lists of gender, state, the last 100 years, and many more. Apart from demographic information, there are so many other ways to creatively utilize our elements to ensure you're collecting all of the information you need. Our short text and long text elements can be modified to collect any type of manually entered information from your respondents. Of course, the email, the address, the phone number elements can collect information that can in turn be added to mailing lists and contact databases. The possibilities are pretty much endless, which, speaking of pretty, the way a form looks is something worth considering to garner more submissions. While our form designer will help us update the color scheme, add a background photo, change the font, and make other organization-specific customizations, we can also utilize a few of our widgets to help spruce up the look of our forms. Here on our volunteer application, we've included our image slider widget to display photos of our organization and the positive energy we emit. We can also embed a video directly onto the form to show further some of the causes we support and give a visual insight into our volunteers' experience. Widgets will really take a form's look and functionality to the next level, which, speaking of levels, let's bounce over to another form to see how we can actually collect donations directly on a form. We previously chatted about the collection of simple information from a volunteer. That same functionality can be applied to a form capturing donor information. But in addition to the collection of needed donor information, did you know you can also collect payment directly from a form? Well, if you didn't, let me tell you all about it. In our form builder, sandwiched right in between our basic elements and widgets, we've already taken a look at, you can see a tab labeled Payments. This will house all of the different payment integrations Jotform Enterprise works with. Payment integrations can be used to sell products, collect payment for registration fees, sell subscriptions, and most relevant to our demo today, collect donations. When integrating with the payment processor, you'll be able to choose what kind of payment you're collecting from this payment type dropdown. When this is selected, you'll have the ability to suggest amounts to donors. You'll also have the ability for them to be able to manually enter the donation amount, or you can even employ another one of our helpful widgets, the form calculation widget. On this form, we're asking the donor to make a selection from provided amounts. If selected, that will auto-populate inside of this hidden form calculation field. The form calculation field can then autofill the donation amount for ease and swift submission by the donor. So let's see that in action. When selecting the amount and clicking next, it's going to be auto-populated in the payment field right here, ready to submit for payment and collect that credit card information. Easy peasy. To further inspire donors, you can opt to use one of our other fun widgets, the donation thermometer. Here's how it works. Once you've integrated with a payment processor to collect your donations, you can add this widget to your form. You can set a total goal as well as customize the progress text and the color of the bar. As donations pour in, we'll get closer and closer to our goal and visually display this for any other prospective donors. I mean, I know seeing this on a form would make me want to help my favorite organizations reach their goals. We've gone over the actual building and configuring of the form to collect donations, but you may find yourself wondering how we can actually spread the word and direct people to our form to donate. Well, wonder no more. This can be accomplished in several ways right from within our Publish tab. Right here in the Quick Share tab, we have several options already ready to share on our form. We can, of course, share the link directly with our prospective donors or other respondents. In a Jotform Enterprise environment, this link will even be customized with your own organization name, and in certain cases, you can even further customize your domain to let your donors know that they're in the right place. Apart from the direct link, you can also share the form on various social media platforms. This can widen your reach of donors and will post to your page in a few simple clicks. For in-person engagement, you can also opt to automatically generate a QR code that will link directly to your form. Respondents can scan the QR code from their mobile phone or tablet and be instantly directed to the form to complete this information. If up to now you've mainly fielded information directly from your website, have no fear, Jotform Enterprise is here. Or I guess in this case, there. With our various embedding options, you can add your forms directly to your website for ease of access by your respondents. They're already on the site, and now they'll see this super easy and quick way to complete a donation payment, apply to be a volunteer, register an event, or any other way you're choosing to use your forms. With Jotform Enterprise's flexible features, you're sure to find a way you can take your current process and make it even easier, regardless of your specific end goal. I think that has to be my favorite part about Jotform Enterprise. But actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it's a little hard to pick a favorite feature. They're all just so great. And the next piece we'll take a look at is no different. And that's using the PDF editor functionality, because this is highly versatile. It can be used for needed functionality and for fun. But instead of just talking about it, I'll show you. At its core, the PDF editor can be used to provide a copy of submission information entered on a form. These can be attached to emails, sent to third-party document storage sites, or be available for reference right here in the system to download or print. A practical use for this, given our previous examples, is the ability to utilize the automatically generated PDF as an invoice or receipt for donation. On this PDF, I've formatted the provided responses from the form as fields that may be typically seen on an invoice. When I formatted this in the Jotform Enterprise PDF editor, it will apply to all submissions. So once created, I can have this automatically sent as a confirmation of donation when the form is completed and the payment has been processed. My donors now have a copy for their records should they need it. Another way you can employ the custom PDF capability is to create a PDF as a certificate. When donating to a cause that's important to you, that definitely can evoke a sense of pride. Who wouldn't want to be proud of themselves for helping out? In my PDF editor, I've created another document associated with the same form. Instead of the cut and dry look of the invoice, I have much more creative control to stylize this document as a certificate. Now my donor can proudly display this when it's sent to them automatically after their donation. This also could be utilized to give as a gift if someone was making a donation on behalf of another friend or family member as tangible proof of their support. Now that I've hinted at automatic emails being sent immediately after the submission of a form, let's actually head over to our email builder to talk about how our notification, autoresponder, and digest emails can work in tandem to keep both internal and external communication instant and easy. In today's world, having instant communication is a top priority. Jotform Enterprise makes that incredibly easy with our email services. Notification emails are sent to a user's email address or any other predetermined email address at the time of submission. Autoresponder emails, on the other hand, are sent to the person filling out the form or any other email address that's manually entered into a field on the form. Both of these emails can be customized and include any information that was submitted on the form itself. They can also include the PDF attachments we saw in our last examples. I know personally, my email inbox is always jam-packed. Customizing the information, including the subject line and the sender, can allow me to set up rules for my email provider that will automatically prioritize and route these emails to a separate inbox so that I can action them right away when needed. Another way to ensure that only the need-to-know people are informed when a form is submitted, you may want to consider using our handy-dandy conditional logic functionality to route the emails to different people based on the way the form is being filled out. Let's take a look at how that's set up now. The basic formula for a condition of any kind inside Jotform is if this thing happens or if this is true, then do this. In the case of sending emails on a donation form, we may need to inform different departments in our nonprofit organization automatically and immediately. Ensuring that the correct people are notified is easy using that same conditional logic formula. In the example we have here, if the donation amount entered is over $1,000, we want to be sure that our bronze level donation team is alerted so that they can react and archive that specific donor's information accordingly. We can continue to utilize as many conditional logic formulas as we need to ensure that only the correct team members and stakeholders are notified when needed. This small action can assist in decreasing the overall number of emails received by everyone and will instead pinpoint the specific people involved and only send the message directly to them. Speaking of decreasing the overall number of emails received, maybe your organization's process does not require individual emails for each donation received, but would rather be sent a roundup style message on a time-bound cadence that will summarize all of the new submissions received during that time. This is where digest emails will come in. Digest emails will collect all of the new submission information over a given period of time based on a custom schedule that you select. And then it will send all of that information in a single email to any needed people. For example, I'd like to send our team lead an email every Friday summarizing the donations we received during the week. When configuring my digest email, I can select which fields from the form I'd like to display. I can also add additional forms to see multiple data points all at once, and these will be delivered directly to the specified user and sent on that schedule that I selected. This is just one of the ways you can add automations to your nonprofit process to reduce stress, keep communication open and seamless, and ensure that the correct people are being notified so that they're able to complete their work. If you're wondering about other ways you can accomplish the same or even more communication and collaboration, you won't have to wonder too much longer because we're about to jump into our approval workflow builder that will automatically send emails, assign tasks, assign forms, and so much more. Our approval flows allow as a Jotform Enterprise user to build out a workflow of various notifications and tasks that occur all starting with the initial submission of a form. Here in this flow, we're revisiting our donation form and notifying certain people if the amount is within a given range. In my approval flow, similar to my previously established logic, I can set up various conditional branches to capture the different ranges of donor tiers. For example, the basic donor tier, if we hover over this branch, is any donation amount less than $1,000. On the other end of the spectrum, the gold tier will encapsulate any donation amount greater than $10,000. Each tier has their own action items after receiving that notification that the donation was made. For example, the basic donors will only just receive a thank you email. The bronze level donors will be first sent to a designated team member to perform data entry in the database. Once they click data entered from either their email or the form inbox, the donor will then be sent the thank you email as well as a form that they'll be assigned to fill out information for their plaque. Once that form is filled out, an email is sent to the plaque vendor down here to get started on their own process. All of these actions are predetermined and set up based on the donor's amount. There's not a need for intervention apart from team members confirming their task completion, and everything will happen seamlessly and automatically. That makes the lives of your team members so much easier, knowing that they have a list of all of the donors in their tier. Those donors have been automatically thanked and sent plaque information. While the workflow is flowing, there's a few places in the system your team can easily track or even action a specific submission. Let's pop over to our forms inbox to talk about that next. The inbox is the second of 3 places that submission data will be stored in your Jotform Enterprise server, alongside the PDF editor we previously looked at and the submission table that we'll touch on shortly. The inbox has the unique ability to collaborate through comments left by your organization's users. Users have the ability to comment on a specific line item. There's even the ability to tag a specific user, which we can see here, so that they're notified and called to action. Comments are tracked from within the system, and they'll be located on the bottom of the submission and can be replied to via email or directly from the inbox, noting completion. That can be tracked for accountability and for reference so that we can ensure that all needed tasks are handled for a positive experience for our donors. In the back end, the team members with access to the inbox can view these comments and be kept up to date with a submission or donation's latest status. Additionally, the inbox makes it easy for users to review and action these submissions inside the workflow. The inbox tab that we're on now will list all of the submissions and will display a bubble of the current status. If there are any submissions that need my attention, I can click into it from this list and see the action needed on the workflow. You can also use the Waiting for Me tab. So I can see a personalized list of submissions that are currently waiting for my action. Here's Edgar waiting to be reviewed before being sent to a team lead to confirm. From the inbox, I can easily see all his information, verify his donation amount, and send the submission on its way. Collaboration is so important, and Jotform Enterprise offers so many tools to keep in constant contact with your team and manage information as it comes in. We've already looked at the inbox, which is a part of our team environment, noted up here by the team icon, but let's move over into a submission table to see a few other creative ways you can leverage Jotform Enterprise in your nonprofit organization. Finally, we've made it to our submission table, the third of the 3 places submission data is stored inside a Jotform Enterprise server. In its default view, the table will appear in a grid format with each column associated with a different question being asked on the form. However, there are several features of submission tables that can be customized to your specific use case and need to assist in further streamlining your process. Let's take a look at some of those now. The first is you can update the view of the table. Maybe this grid format doesn't exactly resonate with our donor data being collected. I can update this table's view by clicking into the tab and selecting Change Type. For our example today, I've actually already gone ahead and added a cards view to the table so we can look at that. The cards will create each submission as its own little card or view for an easy and convenient way to see all of the information from the form submission. Other view types include a calendar to track appointments or other important dates, and uploads view to serve as a document repository for uploaded information from your respondents. Other than updating the view, you can also add additional columns to the table to serve as office use only fields and become a space that your team can collaborate on any needed post-submission tasks. These columns are not visible nor added to our donor-facing form, so they really are only for our team members with explicit access to our form submission table to view and modify. I've prepared some of these options to showcase for our demo today, but all of these options and more can be found right here under this column dropdown at the top of our table. First, I've added a long text field for the team to use as a note or comment space. When accessing the table, they can click directly into the cell and leave any additional information they need to share. Next, I've added the assignee column that will allow a user to assign specific entries to specific users to own and be responsible for associated tasks. These assigned users will be notified via email when they are assigned a submission, so they're kept in the loop for their day-to-day tasks. For their convenience and tracking, I've also added a checkbox column for the user to confirm that a task was completed. I've also gone ahead and added a tags column using the multi-select option. I can tag donation based on the information we may need to know or report on for our donors. And finally, I've added an action button column. This type of column will add a clickable button that, when selected, will take a predetermined associated action. I'm using my action button on this table to send a form to the donor inviting them to apply to volunteer. Using this action button alongside these pre-established tag columns will ensure that I'm only sending this form to those interested in volunteering rather than all donors. When sending a form through an action button, I can establish a pre-fill. This will pull information from their donor form and have it already ready to go on their volunteer application when accessed. This will make the application infinitely less arduous for the prospective volunteer and may then result in an increase of volunteer applications for our organization. One other feature of the table is the ability to pull reports. These can be done quickly at the click of a mouse, or can be established and customized to automatically update as new donations roll in. Let's take a look at both together, starting with the ability to quickly summarize columns in a chart view. At any time, if I need to pull a quick report, I can go over to a column, like our tags column here, click these 3 stacked dots, and click Summarize with a Chart. This will automatically generate a chart of all of the data as of the time I pulled it. This is good for a quick overview if needed in a pinch, but would need to be pulled every time you want the data and would not automatically update as new submissions roll in. As we can see, I chose the tags column to summarize for our example. This quick pull of a report gives our team insight into trends among donors as it stands in this exact moment. While we're still in this view, and to give us a small sample of data that will automatically update as new submissions are received, let's go back over to our donation amount column. By clicking the 3 stacked dots in the column, selecting Add Summary and Sum, I can generate the total monetary value of the submissions that have been received, and that's located down here. Again, as new ones roll in, this number will update, showing our amazing donors' support for our organization. In addition to that calculation, I may want a more permanent report that's automatically updated as new donations are received. I can do that extremely easily using Jotform Enterprise's Visual Report Builder. Let's go here and go to our report. This visual report was added as a tab to my existing submission table, and it allows me to generate real-time updated charts and graphs in an easy-to-read and presentable format. These charts reflect different data sets I've associated with each field on my form and table. With this, I can see a full view of trends and data points. I can then take these into consideration for my future fundraising initiatives. Additionally, depending on the permissions set on my visual report, I can also embed these charts on a portal or website, or even a Jotform no-code app. If you're unfamiliar with Jotform Enterprise's no-code app functionality, get ready to be introduced to one of my favorite features of the platform. Let's open up our app builder now so we can take a look together. And we will go into our donation app and our nonprofit team member app here. Jotform Enterprise's no-code app builder is an easy way to create a portal or common space to share forms, documents, photos, contact information, and much more. With Jotform Enterprise, you can create as many no-code apps as you would like. For example, the one I have up now is used internally in my organization. But I could have a separate one that would be specific to donors or even different apps for each tier of donation. In this internal app, I can link forms specific to our day-to-day process for our employees' easy access. No-code apps can be added to a phone, tablet, or desktop's home screen as quick and easy access to all of the needed forms and information. To the right, you may notice that as I build or modify the app, I'm able to see a live preview of the way it will look for the end user, accessing this information on their mobile device. This feature, which is brand new, by the way, is especially helpful in ensuring that you're designing an app that is not only functional, but also looks nice while being used. As mentioned, visual reports can also be embedded into an app. I've actually done that for our donation report here. So now that this is in place, our team members can easily track donations from these reports, and those are updated in real time. Again, there's no limit to the number of apps you can create in Jotform Enterprise. So let's take a look at another example and potential use case, an app for your donors. Staying in touch and keeping our donors up to date is an integral part of fundraising. Using Jotform's no-code apps can absolutely help you out with that. Here we have an app specific to our donors. It includes photos from our organization, information to contact us, our volunteer application, an embedded newsletter for review, and the ability to add so much more. Additionally, in tandem with just sharing information, I can integrate with my preferred payment processor and collect donations directly from the app. This interface is super user-friendly as well and will allow prospective donors to be able to donate quick and easily. Over here in our live preview, we can see what this would look like on a donor's mobile device as well. Who wouldn't want to support a cause when Jotform Enterprise makes it this easy? Now, I know that was a lot of information, and this is only just a small sample of all of the dynamic and helpful features Jotform Enterprise provides. If anything caught your eye, or if you'd like to take a deeper in-depth dive at how Jotform Enterprise may look for your specific use case, please don't hesitate to reach out to our team. Thank you for your time today, and back to you, Lainey.
All right. Fantastic. Let me just get these slides back up. Okay, I think we're good. Thank you so much, Lauren. That was an incredible overview of nonprofit automation in action. I always learn something new every time I watch your demos. So if Lauren's presentation inspired you, you are in luck. We have a number of resources to help you learn more. We invite you to explore how your peers are automating their work by checking out our case studies. These nonprofits represent a range of missions and use cases, and they are all automation rock stars. If you want to explore technology trends and best practices, we have a white paper available for download that specifically addresses the needs of nonprofits. And if you like to learn by doing, we have over 10,000 free templates, form templates specifically, that you can use to see how your organization might use Jotform Enterprise. We have templates for apps as well, really lots of things that you can get in and play with. It's also a great way to explore how people use forms to automate their daily tasks. And then finally, you'll be able to refer back to this webinar recording on our YouTube channel. And while you're there, I'd encourage you to check out a webinar from earlier this year. It's called Surprising Ways to Delight Donors with Forms. And that features the amazing Becky Dudley from United Way Roanoke Valley, another one of our customers who really can rock the automation scene. All right, so at this point, I'd like to just check in with Kendall and see if we have any outstanding questions in the chat.
Hi, yes, we have a couple. The first one is, can Jotform be used offline when no internet service is available?
I can take that one. Yeah, absolutely. So that is available as a part of the Jotform Enterprise mobile app. When you're in the mobile app, so long as your form is compatible to be offline, some elements are not available. You can go to the settings in your Jotform Enterprise mobile app, select the forms from the list of compatible and possible forms to be accessed offline, and you can set them from there. When the end user or respondent is filling out the form offline, once they connect back to cellular data or Wi-Fi, their submissions will be synced, all emails will be sent, approval flows will be started, but the form will still function while they're filling it out, regardless of their internet connection.
Great, thanks. The next question is, how would server performance be monitored or remedied when suddenly there is a wave of donors using the same form?
So actually, our enterprise customers benefit from local data residency centers, which offer the highest security standards and maintain peace of mind for uptime and connectivity with your forms and data. We have tons of different companies using Jotform Enterprise for real-time surveys and promotions, as well as the Arbor Day Foundation that received over 250,000 form submissions for tree plantings through a corporate partnership. We also have the status page linked in the footer of our website at jotform.com. So you're able to check that. And you can always reach out to our support team ahead of a known large influx so we can ensure that you have additional resources allocated if needed.
Awesome, thank you. Next question is, do you offer discounted pricing for nonprofits?
Actually, yes. So if you're looking to bring your team on board and join the Jotform Enterprise family, they're available at a 30% discount to qualifying nonprofit organizations. Many of our customers are able to replace their existing technology providers with Jotform due to all of our functionality, the flexibility and adaptability of our platform. So I definitely encourage you to reach out to the enterprise sales team to discuss your existing needs and your tech stack to see how we can help you and give you a custom quote for your organization. And that information can be found and our team can be reached out to at jotform.com/enterprise/nonprofit.
Great, thanks. And then the last question I have here is, are the apps based on the forms, or can you create an app independently of any form?
That's a great question. Apps are created independently of a form. However, forms can be a part of apps. So if you don't need forms on your apps, you just want to display photos, videos, documents, contact information, maybe the donation as we saw in our last example, you don't need to have any sort of form created for it or linked on there. You can just create the app independently of any form. Or if you so choose, you can link forms inside of an app.
Thank you.
Okay. Are there any other questions from either the live stream or Zoom?
Nope, that looks like that's all of them.
Okay, great. All right. Well, in that case, then, I just want to thank everyone for joining our session today. We hope you found some inspiration. And if you have any questions, by all means, please do reach out to our Jotform Enterprise sales teams. You'll find the contact form on our website. And if you're already a customer and have questions about implementing some of the ideas shared today, please contact your customer relationship manager or customer support team. We look forward to helping you. Have a great rest of your week, and we hope to see you at an upcoming webinar. Thanks, everyone.